Skyrim's got options. There are spells, swords, blunt bonkers, and most importantly, arrows. So many choices, but what if choice was an illusion? What if you just let fate take the wheel? Yo, dudettes, this is Ketchu, and today we're about to find out, can you beat Skyrim by using everything you find? The rules are simple. Every time I find gear, I have to take it. If there's more than one option in the room, I can just pick the one I want. I could carefully sift through the loot to get something good, but that'd be a bigger waste of time than watching Faendal and Sven fight over the 2 out of 10 makeup disaster. The ride to Helgen was uneventful. I had fiddled with some settings to prevent the card from doing the usual gymnastics. Since I'm not playing the game the intended way, you might think this disqualifies the run. Feel free to roast me in the comments if you think so. Once we rolled into town, the locals immediately hit their children. Either they've seen my videos before, or they have amazing instincts. My name? Dominic Orc. D-Orc for short. You can just say dog. I've come to terms with it. Man bun! And that was all I needed. This is the first time in the history of Ketchuverse that I'm playing as a super mutant. The Empire's most effective weight loss plan. That was at least 20 pounds. How heavy are heads? My jokes fell to unappreciating ears. In fact, I think I became the new kid on the chopping block even faster. Oh. Hey, you dude with the axe. I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but look behind you. I'm sure he's heard that one before. Before running for my life, I took a moment to mourn for the majestic furry Ford, which had just driven its last passenger. When the dragon played peekaboo with us through the wall, I tried to fulfill my dream of becoming a parrot, but the dragon didn't approve. Inside the keep, I took Gundam's gear, enrolled the Imperial idiots into a Tyrius University, and snatched their stuff. After that, I tried a new strategy. Ignoring everyone, swiped a new weapon from the Emperor Palpatine's playroom, avoided the bridge trolls, and the spiders, did not, however, skip my chance to tango with the tutorial Teddy. The bear's soul has been successfully removed from this dimension, and lo and behold, Raylov was outside in the real game, staring slack-jawed at Skyrim's newest legendary Pokemon with me. From there, I activated the warrior sign, pooped some wolves on the snout with an iron newspaper.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What?
Oh wow, she's crazy, how trendy. And ignored everyone at Riverwood. On my way to the Golden Claw's nest, I took a moment to admire Riverwood. That's when I noticed Kerder and Raylov heading to their usual spot for a conversation. You know, the one where I'm supposed to be too. Neat. The first bandit guarding the nearby tower switched my bunker for a sword and shield. The next one donated a bow to my cause. My controller aim was rustier than a Droger's deodorant. Amazing! When taking a shortcut back down, my legs didn't stand a chance. Frick! Oh, hello! The bandits outside and inside Bleak Falls Barrow didn't pose much of a threat. For a moment, I thought this would be a pleasant and easy challenge. That didn't turn out to be true. Like, at all. Why did I even jinx it like that? Now, I won't mention every single piece of garbage I pick up along the way. Otherwise, we'd be here for the entire 7,000 steps and beyond. If you want to see every painful decision in real time, there's always the stream VOD for your viewing pleasure. Nice! The puzzle room bandit was, as always, clueless. Didn't notice me breathing down his neck. He pulled the lever. Checked out? I laughed. Then I pulled the same lever, because apparently, my last brain cell was on a coffee break. After flipping the rocks around, I had the audacity to say, easy. I failed to pay attention and rolled a bird when I should have rolled a seal. Who's the stupid one now? For leveling up, I plan to make myself as effective in close-range combat as possible, by spreading my perk points across one-handed, two-handed, light armor, heavy armor, shields, a jack of no trades, master of fun approach. In Skyrim, stronger enemies start to show up as you level up. Since I was spreading myself thinner than a novice illusionist's mana pool, I predicted tough times ahead. And oh boy, was I right. Next, I picked up a fireball scroll and used it to give the big spider a light facial waxing. That's about all it was good for. A brief moral debate ensued over whether I could use my fists here. I could have dragged a companion into this mess instead, but in the interest of saving everyone's time, I just squashed the big fat knocker myself. Arvel had a tragic accident involving a trap. The Draugr smacked the soup out of me, forcing me to chuck my last healing potion. I regret thinking this was going to be easy. Instead of using my prawn, I tried using my thinker.
That was awesome.
Like stressed out room service, I provided a rude wake-up call to the Draugr snoozing in the next room, leveled up, forgot to use a perk point, and lost my cool when I ran out of stamina trying to shove Miss Beef Jerky off a bridge. Did I give up? No, sir. The restless mini-boss waved punches at me while sending me away into a graceful tactical retreat. I tried my luck again at the breach, but it wasn't until we reached the glowing mushroom cavern that I finally gained the upper hand and stole his meat cleaver. A nearby chest generously donated another fireball scroll to my cause. After verifying the sharpness of the swinging blade traps with my face, I was pleased to find my fireball actually did something useful this time. I used the glorified back scratcher to open the door to the master bedroom and learned a new word for Scrabble. Then, in a moment of pure impulse control failure, I swapped my helmet for a circlet. Less armor didn't make getting hit any more pleasurable. Blocking the incoming punishment did net me a level up, which refilled my HP, and I forgot to use my perk point again. With my last means of healing now behind me, I tried luring the overlord into the blade traps, hoping they'd turn him into a Draugr stew. Unfortunately, his advanced brain rot prevented him from figuring out stairs, so I let nature's healing cover me in scabs, and eventually came out on top, earning me a new cutting board enchanted choppa combo. Not wanting to lose my new weapon immediately, I avoided opening any chests on the way out, met a frightened woman who force-fed me a quest, failed to hunt a deer, settled for a firefly instead, and actively avoided looking at the giant near Whiterun, because if he had something useless in his inventory, I'd be legally obligated to take it. Next up, Whiterun. I talked to the Jarl and attempted to become his parrot. Look at it! Oh! Harry Potter got his dragon themed souvenir, Irulette started a panic, and while the adults were talking, I fumbled my cool weapon to an iron dagger. And with that, I was off to stab a dragon with it. Luckily, that didn't happen. The crisp fetus on the scene had a new slicer for me, which, combined with my total lack of healing, didn't stop me from getting my poop kicked back in. I guess I'm just gonna die then. Now learned and more smart, I let the competent people do the heavy lifting, occasionally sneaking in to spank the dragon's back door when the opportunity arose. Then, I sucked the soul out of it and immediately run back to brag to the Jarl about the amazing job I did. On my way to do some hiking, I ignored my new donkey. Nazim said the thing, so I gave him a good old spank for it. That was as far as I was planning to take it.
I'll let you live this time.
Oh,
Don't do that!
don't do that. Tiny bit too late.
By order of the Jarl, stop right there.
Sorry, I don't have time for it.
You there. We're looking for
I
someone
don't.
who can play
Do you?
Pay good
Can
money
you
for
not?
it.
I fled Whiterun. The taxi service refused to protect and serve, and a pack of dogs shared me among them. At least they paid attention in kindergarten. Frick! Take two. I almost became a pincushion. Stopped to pay a toll to a troll doll. She then called me a goat licker. Way to kink shame. I spent a respectable amount of time lost in the jungle. Tried to follow road signs like a functioning adult. Wrangled with way too many wolf packs. Had a party with random dudes I met. Made it to Ivarstead. Rillin handed me a package. And began ascent up the fitness instructor's dank dream. Everybody along the way warned me about the wolves on this hill. Yet nobody thought to mention the brick house of a troll waiting up there. Fortunately, the idiot was stuck on a ledge. And running away solved all my problems, like usual. I reached the castle in the sky and left the supplies in the chest, along with some frostbite poison. They'll know what it means. I passed the Greybeards test with a flying 50 Shades of Grey. Got more magic words added to my collection, but to get that A+ and a star sticker, I need to retrieve the horn of Helgen, the flatulence caller. The taxi service was back online, so I took a shortcut from Mortal to Ustengrav. Inside, after interrupting their poetry slam, the first group of rarely do-wells managed to set the tone of my future plans by almost making a meal out of me. Those future strategies were put on hold when I found a race zombie spell. My new undead flamethrower didn't really shift the outcome in my favor. A swift level up saved my bacon, and this time, I actually remembered to use my perk point. Turns out, that's what it takes to kill just one restless dunce. I was hyped to fry some undead idiots with a firestorm scroll. Going for the maximum oomph and herding them together failed spectacularly multiple times. In the end, I parkoured my way down while ignoring the living stupid. Tried the spiders on the traps after making sure they worked with my body. Then I tested Firestorm on a spider that had ascended to a higher plane of existence. It worked. Neat. There was a note where the horn was supposed to be, but I decided long ago that dog can't read, so I dunked the note into the soggy archives with everything else readable from my inventory. Luckily, you don't need the ability to read, or any other form of frontal lobe development, to mindlessly follow a quest marker to your next objective. Returning to Riverwood, I remembered I forgot that I was still wanted for axing Nazim's story. Frick! Like a functioning member of society, I decided to do the time, then immediately changed my mind and tried escaping multiple times. Changing gears, I escaped Whiterun naked, stopped to pick up some potatoes, did my best to avoid the long arm of the law, and legged it back to Riverwood. The guards sniffed me out instantly, and then the members of the hideous Masks cult decided the playtime was now. I bravely watched as the guards handled my problems for me.
Thank you. Please, I just wanna load it. Oh, I had this plan and everything. It would have worked out.
I learned pretty fast I wasn't sneaking my way to Delphine. Ignoring the guards and running inside the inn didn't improve my chances. Next, I taunted a bounty hunter.
How you gonna overcome your current problem? Get it, current,
Naked and septimless, I jumped off a bridge just to dodge the carrier, traveled to Whiterun, hoping to scrape together enough coin for a taxi, only to realize potatoes are worthless. Then the carrier verbally violated my personal space anyway. Since reading isn't my thing, I tossed the letter into a campfire without opening it, tried to force a bucket onto a cat's head, but the stupid handle got in the way. Being on the run was getting annoying, so I used my get out of the jail free card, then tried to seduce the lock of the evidence chest into giving back my gear. Anyhow, I got a new bounty.
I don't have money. I was so close.
My next plan, huff and puff the brick house of a guard down the stairs in protest.
Okay, check this out.
Wait. I know you.
Okay, good. You didn't just indiscriminately kill an orc.
Attempt number 2 nearly ended my adventuring career.
Wow, that was a good shot. In my knee too.
Wait. I know you.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
After 2 failed left turns, I went right instead. They never saw it coming. I was once again safely on the loose. My backup plan was to join a nearby bandit gang for quick cash. That didn't work out.
Well, I think that's unnecessarily mean. Yeah, look at this. You lost to a naked orc field.
With the gold donated by my new stiff friend, I paid my fine, cast in the golden claw, bought a single lockpick from Valentine, and hid the claw inside a pocket, just because. Next, I played moving target to a cultist, got the foghorn from that criminal scum who stole it, made Delphine stand in place for 24 hours as punishment, gained entry to her cavern of copulation, snagged a new weapon off the wall, and suffered through Belle's self-important speeches. The Greybeards got their nose chucked back, and as a present, I learned me a new word. Don't you just love educational gifts? Then they welcomed me into their flock by screaming at me violently. I've never felt more at home. Luckily, my emotional dam was fully reinforced and ready to take on the torture that is Delphine's voice. She told me we were going to kill a dragon. Fighting those discount ducks is just the best, especially with a dagger. I made a quick pit stop by the evidence locker, successfully sweet-talked the chest into coughing up my gear, got caught, paid the fine, and tried to fill the moat with my broken dreams. At the dragon burial site, I had Alduin blow me. My strategy for this fight was the same as before. Avoid the business end, let someone else take the heat, and keep stabbing with the pointy stick between the cheeks, while occasionally getting slapped like a pesky fly. When the dragon resumed the big sleep, Delphine had another stupid idea. Sneak into the Thalmor Embassy. I rue the moment she opens her mouth.
Oh, you didn't like that? Oh, crap baskets. I need to follow her. Yeah, let's go look at the dead body.
Next up, Solitude. To meet Marlborough. There was not a gerbil's chance in a bathhouse that I wasn't going to cause an incident before reaching the inn. After the heat died down, I made it back to the city, but ruined everything when the executable threatened me. Took me a lukewarm minute to sort the mess that was totally not my fault.
Why?
At least I netted a sick souvenir out of it all. My contact was set to smuggle in my essentials to the embassy, so to keep my load light, I I handed him my entire net worth of garbage, buckets and all, and then, with all the grace of a cinder block taking the stairs to hell, I discreetly infiltrated the embassy. Inside, I was supposed to uncover Thalmor's secrets about the dragons. This is where things got serious. I whispered sweet nothings into Malbone's ear, and he hooked me up with the back room. My half-baked build, paired with a dagger, didn't chance a stand against the first set of guards.
No!
No! Nothing brings me more joy than getting to redo the talking bit. The guards had no chill this time either. Attempt number 3. I managed to drop one of the guards, banked to level up, upgraded my gear, and planned to use the level up heal at the last moment.
No! Frick, so close!
Round 4 was a lightning round. I tried to attack as fast as possible with the element of surprise. A mage from another room stormed in, which shocked me. 5th spin on the carousel of suffering. I tried funneling them through a door to fight them one at a time. Tapped into my meager food and potion supplies. Got reminded to use my perk points. Used the level up tactically, and I beat them, finally. Then the mage showed up again and reverse defibrillated me. I thought I had met my match here, and considered lowering the difficulty from adept. There was no part 6. I ran past the guards, and sneaked my way to the interrogation room. The fine folks inside the chamber didn't go down without a fight. And oh boy, did they fight. Nearly lost it when I picked up a scroll to fight the next wave. The bow I snagged next didn't make me feel any better either. But luckily, there was a maze on a shelf. Then, Lady Luck flirted with me. Only one of the guards arrived and refused to act, handing me a free sneak attack. Don't mind if I do. The other one came barreling at me up the stairs. Gotta admit, it was pretty nice to duel them one by one. I almost never managed to keep Malbone alive. That accomplishment was short-lived, because the idiot immediately tried to bare-knuckle box a frost roll. Let's just say, nobody placed their bets on Marlborough. This walk-on course lasted 23 minutes and shaved 23 years of my life. Back at Dolphin's Hole, I got the quest to find Esbern in Riften, the idiot who forces you into conversation just to tell you not to try anything, the fellow protected by essential oils. Yeah, that moron. I hate him, so I spent a while humping a fence just to avoid him. Skipping through the backyards, a cat-seat lady came right at me. She had trouble comprehending the gate between us, but that didn't stop her. She had made up her mind. Near the Temple of Mara, I got distracted.
Come to laugh at the grave tender?
No, actually, this might seem silly to you, but I'm looking for a wife. Yeah, I don't think this is the place.
Inside the temple, I practiced some charity. On me. Then I remembered the amulet dispenser was screaming in the tavern. Bought the amulet, recruited Donkey, but for some reason, couldn't marry her. There goes my idea for guilt-free labor. I kept her around anyway, hoping she would change her mind. The first fight in the sewers could have easily gone sideways. Luckily, I had the accidental foresight to bring backup.
Nice, good job. Future wife? Still no marriage? Okay.
There was an innocent bucket suffering in solitude, not in the city, alone. Anyway, I rescued it. Then I tried to turn the amulet of Mara on and off again, to see if that would get Lydia to marry me faster. Didn't work.
Bang it!
After Donkey flexed her cool levitating trick, I got a level up. While enduring a fistful of this idiot, ignored the Thieves Guild HQ. The barmaid followed me through the door, so I slapped him for that. While looting a trash bag, I lost my amulet of Mara for a gold necklace. I don't know if I can buy it again.
Knife. Yes. Book. Yes. Bucket.
Bucket?
Yes.
Bucket.
After picking up Esbern, I had approximately 5 seconds to enjoy my new, rambling grandpa, before the Thalmor came crashing in to repossess him. One thing led to another, and I learned that fire attacks hurt like heck. I did the smart thing, cashed in my banked level up, and hid in a closet while my entourage turned my problems into their problems. Back on the street, the crazy cat lady charged at me again, this time with homicide in mind. After that, I stopped by the orphanage to adopt a kid. Didn't work. At White Run, I continued my life's work of turning the moat into a ball pit of discarded equipment. Then had an eye-opening revelation. Street orphans are not free! In fact, they cost as much as a house. I thought you could just pick one up. There goes my dream of acquiring free labor under the guise of parenting. After introducing the two sources of my problems to each other, we were off to investigate the Sky Temple. I stopped to interrupt an assassination in market. Got lost trying to follow the roads like a normal person. person, introduced myself to the Forsworn, ignored all the unpleasantness unfolding at Cartspire, entered the mine, got puzzled, checked my feelings, and entered Skyhaven Temple. Esbern had a lot to say about the big rock wall. I pretended to care. Moving on, I dropped by High Rothgar to listen to another old man drone on about things. We played Scrabble outside, I wrestled with some ice snakes, ran with the goats, and finally, I paid my respects. A bucket and a broom were placed in loving memory of Paul, of Mitten Squad fame. A moment of silence was held. Then I went back to ruining my life. There was an intense debate about etymology with Grandpa Partunax, but in the end, while he was pooping, he agreed that I can be his parrot for a little while. Take heart, folks, some dreams come true. Should they though? That's a question for future me to answer. Future me is probably just going to ignore it and hope no one notices. Next on the to-do list, the Elder Scroll, trademark. First up, win the hold. I immediately realized I had forgotten to pick up the Shout of Shortcuts in the Fat Caves, and instead had to take the scenic, possibly bone-fracturing route down. I humored another old man, and he handed me his pet rock, his Rubik's Cube, and a fresh quest marker. From there, it was off to Elfland. The first thing that happened, a cat man choked me out like a bad furball. Perfect. Lydia acted as an involuntary tank, while I basked in the sweet scent of revenge. Or maybe that was just a part. Hard to tell. Parts are basically the revenge of food, if you think about it. Seriously? Have you ever experienced what beans do to you? Don't lie, I need a support group. At this point, I reminded myself that I was officially experiencing the best part of Skyrim. That was sarcasm. The Super Bowl of Death helped me recall some regrets. Fun fact, the people of Tamriel unknowingly eat at least 5 dwarven spider workers in their sleep every year. Just putting that out there. I failed to use the spanking machine to my advantage. The giant hole kept reminding me of my past failures. I mostly ignored the Thalmor because battling them is like counting licks to the center of a Funko Pop. I did use the gravity to my advantage in a couple of spots, which is kind of nice, since usually there's some trust issues between me and the laws of physics. Deeper in, I made a quick pit stop to compare the size differences between adult-sized and child-sized torture devices. Fascinating stuff. Further into the Dwemer boulevard of smashed dreams, I got to watch Lydia mentally wrestle with a pressure plate. This is what happens when you don't pay attention in kindergarten, kids. Then came the Centurion. It steamed me like a last summer's potato, so I had my donkey keep it busy, while I ignored the 2 tanky turds, social distance from everyone in the jellyfish fields. Got the Elder Scroll, trademark, and remembered to pick up the cube this time, but decided to keep it anyway. There was no way I was challenging Alduin with nothing but a scroll of mayhem and a dream, so I fast-twitched my way to Riverwood, aiming for the nearby minecraft, only to immediately get chased by a vampire and his death puppies. A bold strategy on their part, considering my proven ability to ignore problems until they go away. I snatched a torch from inside the mine and traded it for a bandage gear. From there, I took a trip to Whiterun, filled the moat with garbage as usual, and let a courier cram more trash in my pockets, before I deposited it with the rest of my high-value assets. Next, I stopped by the general store and the pharmacy to buy some potions. I had zero faith in the trash tier gear I had just finessed from a guy who got pested by a wooden stick on fire. Back at the Throat of the World, I read the Elder Scroll at the time wound, ready to learn the Dragonrend shout and, except no, that would be far too simple. Alduin had entered rush hour traffic, thanks to the delicate balance of Skyrim's RPG settings making all the traffic lights appear red. I tried my old trick of saving during the white transition screen. Nothing. Scoured the internet, nothing worked. Even tried some good old console command magic, but I was lacking dragon souls to shout my way out of incompetence. What finally worked? Not moving the camera until Alduin decided to stop stalking and actually show up. This issue has plagued me in the past, but won't bother me anymore. Next time, I'll just prepare a bad command to skip this segment. The time for the semi-finale against Alduin had come. The fight went okay-ish. I unleashed every ounce of my unfiltered rage, hammering the big scaly stupid head with everything I had, but my potions ran out faster than my patience. No! That wasn't the worst part. The worst part was Alduin hovering in the air like a smug idiot, refusing to come down. Lydia was still peppering his big leathery behind with arrows, but I wasn't about to sit around and watch. I tried leaving the arena to reset the idiot. Didn't work. Reloaded multiple times. Did not work. I could feel my soul being devoured, not by Alduin, but by the creeping horror of redoing the timewood scene. Putting the challenge on hold, I flew up to see if Alduin was even taking damage. Nope, not even a little. In the end, downloading an autosave was my only salvation. Sweet, beautiful autosave. Unwilling to risk another L, I played it safe. No flashy moves, just good old-fashioned buttocks abuse. Every tail whip I blocked was an investment, hoping to cash in a level up for some emergency HP like a medieval insurance policy. I played the long game, sometimes playing dodgeball with Destiny, waiting for my health to regenerate naturally. Then Brain, in a rare moment of usefulness, reminded me that I had food in my pockets this entire time. That knowledge could have saved the first fight, but hey, better late than dead. Once Alduin got grounded like a teenager past curfew, I switched to full coward mode, cowering behind the word wall while my unpaid interns did the dirty work. At some point, while heroically rushing in for a swipe or two, I somehow landed a hit on my donkey, who was neither in front of me nor a dragon.
What?
I gotta admit, that was the cherry on top of the shit sundae. Her sacrifice wasn't in vain though. In the end, Alduin refused to get isekai'd, tucked tail, and fled to Sovngarde to find easier victims. Just like any respectable bully, Grandpa Partunax tried redirecting my gaze towards his mystical toilet, probably to dispense some stinky ancient wisdom.
You truly have the voice of a Dova.
He's flying away, very cool.
I swung by the drunken huntsman to hire a replacement for Lydia. Maybe I'll marry her later, I don't know. She and Dog would create some aggressively unfortunate children. Janessa immediately proved her worth by refusing to stop fighting long after I had already given up, after another screaming-related altercation. A true warrior spirit, or just really, really petty. To convince the Jarl to help me hijack a dragon, I had to host a peace council for Skyrim's premium lunkheads, which I spent the next 23 minutes suffering through. The treaty was a success. I tried to be fair because, honestly, I could not care less who wins this dumb war. Then Espen took what little respect I had for him and set it on fire by asking me to murder his rival in Grandpahood. The Jarl came through with the dragon trap plan, which went great, right up until I fell off the mechanism and died after it was released. But on the second try, I managed to mount the big sucker and take off for Skuldafn. Guess who forgot to restock potions? This guy. After hurling my life and time down the drain,
No!
I begrudgingly detoured to Solitude to stock up on potions. Would have been nice if I hadn't blown 500 gold on a mercenary who dips before the final act. Truly, I'm playing 4D chess. Skuldafn 2. Reloaded. I run past everyone and into the temple. I hadn't bothered with the side dragons and wasn't about to start now. Inside, I carefully dueled every Draugr into a chalk outline. Nothing too difficult. I was pleasantly surprised I could two-shot the lesser ones. For the first time this playthrough, I felt somewhat strong. I got a level up, banked it for an emergency HP refill, and carried on. The Draugr overlord at the back door was about as scared of me as I was of him. He barely put up a fight while getting a front row seat to my weapon showcase. Back outside, I ignored whatever nonsense the locals had planned for me, and hopped straight into the Sovngarde portal. The fight with Zun was harder than ever. I could take 2 hits from him before expiring. Fair fight was obviously not in the cards. It took me multiple, painstaking, horrible attempts to lure him down the waterfall. First time I succeeded, the big lag brain just waltzed right back into the fight like nothing happened. Second time, he took the hint. Inside the Hall of Valor, I stole all the food. Yskamor kept bothering me about the 3 stooges waiting for me to talk to them. Once I was done stuffing my pockets, we ran outside, cleared the blueberry smell, and let the final battle begin. The rematch was actually easier than before. I had a Whiterun god armor instead of a gutter-tier makeshift rags made from a trash bag. I used the same strategy of spanking the world inconveniencer until he dropped dead like a Ubisoft stock. I thanked Yesana for her hard work, dumped most of everything I had to my name into the mold, and when I was about to drop the rest of it, the game finally crashed. Decided against dropping over 100 items manually again, and I beat Skyrim by using every piece of garbage equipment I laid my eyes on. That's it for this time, folks. This was way harder than I anticipated. Do the engagement things to help me out. Tell me in the comments what I could have done better, or if you have other challenges/games for me to play. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care now. Bye bye then.